So with any kind of recovery or change in your life, you're going to lose some things that you used to have. That's just part of the process. If you spend a lot of time out drinking and partying to mood alter and stay ahead of the pain and numb the pain, when you get to the point where you no longer want to do that, it leaves a big void because it was a big part of your life. And there's a lot of people, places, and things that are attached to that kind of lifestyle. And it's hard to pull back from things that you know so well and you did for so long. I think the hard part is the judgment from the people you used to do it with. You've developed a lot of relationships and a lot of routines and just a lot of comfort in your little world that you created. Pulling away from things that made you matter, made you fit in, leaves just that void of emptiness and loneliness and sense of not belonging that I think a lot of people have a hard time with change because of the outward look in. I know people are looking at me pretty weird these days. He's lost his mind, he's gone off the deep end, I don't understand him. And that's painful. That's been a real painful process, and it started a while ago, and it was real slow, and I think my body reacted very poorly where it was hard to be around people that I previously was around because I was just very confused with myself as why this life I was living no longer spoke to me in the way it did. But without it, I felt like I really didn't have anything. And a lot of that is because I didn't really have a sense of self. My identity was defined by things outside myself, and as I slowly pulled those things away, I felt like I was pulling my identity away, and I just felt very guarded, very raw, very protected, and just very uncomfortable because I could feel and see the judgment. And I sat with that for a while, quite a while. A couple of years. It was a slow process of pulling away from the life that I've known so well and was kind of good at, even though it wasn't the best lifestyle for me. And I think a lot of people have problems with what they feel is how they're being perceived by others. And I've been struggling with that pretty hard for the past couple of years, but especially in the last 6 months to a year. It's just been very difficult changing and not having a foundation of people around me that are kind of on the same path that I'm on. And there's a lot of second guessing. A lot of the things that I'm doing feel right on the inside, but when I look as an observer and see and feel, it's that feeling of that judgment of what happened to this guy. He used to be so much different. He used to be, you knew what you got with me, and now you don't know because I don't know. I'm walking in new shoes, and I'm trying to break them in, and they're uncomfortable. I like the way they look on me. I like the way they're starting to feel on me, but it's still not comfortable. And I think it's hard for a lot of people, at least that's the feedback I've been getting, is the judgment of change and being who they are. We get caught up in society systems and roles and family system and roles and the roles you play with your friends and the people that are close to you. And sometimes you just need to detach from those worlds to kind of figure out who you are and how you want to be and how you want to feel and the life you want to live. But you care about these people, and you've had a long history with them, but it's just not serving you the same way, and you still care about them and you still want to be a part of it. It's just not everything anymore. It used to just be this identity that I hooked into and this world that I had lived in, and I was a part of it. And what I'm doing was my identity. but it's not anymore, and I'm just trying to figure out what it really is. And I've lost family, I've lost friends, I've lost people that I cared about, I've lost relationships, because it's hard staying in them and with them while you're doing this work, because it makes them very uncomfortable. If you're out drinking, doing drugs, chasing women, whatever it is that you're doing, and you do it with this group of people, and then one day you're just like, you know what, I don't feel like doing this anymore, this just doesn't work for me, it makes the people around you very uncomfortable, and they start to look at themselves, and not wanting to look at themselves puts more judgment on you. And a lot of the time I just haven't been strong enough to deal with the judgment, so I kind of isolated and pulled away, and start doing my own thing to find out what I really like and who I am, and what I really want to do and be. And a lot of it has been lonely, some of it's been boring, some of it's been great. It's just finding out who you are and what you like, and pulling away those old systems and those old roles that you've attached to for your whole life, and you built up. I always say it's like water dripping on a rock. There's the faucet's running in the sink with the drip, and you put a rock under it, years and years ago, and every day the water just keeps dripping. It makes this nice, smooth, comfortable groove, and you're good in your environment and the life that kind of has been carved out from that drip. And then one day I pulled that comfortable, safe, smooth rock out, and I just put another jagged rock in its place, and it's taken a while for that drip to etch out a nice comfortable spot. And it's not really there yet, but it comes a little bit more every day. It's just uncomfortable with that jaggedness of not being sure if this is okay or not, if this is right, because nobody in my world seems to be doing the same things that I'm doing. And breaking away from those connections has been really painful and discomfort. But I find after I've gone away from some people, when I come back in a better way. I've learned to be there more for myself, that I'm finding that I'm a better friend, a better father, a better person, because I've been healing so much of myself instead of trying to mask it and pretend and put that pain someplace else with things outside of myself, and just accepting the pain and healing it on my own. That I do feel like I'm better for the people around me now, and it was just tough leaving them, and some you come back to and some you don't. I just noticed the ones that I've come back to, I feel like I'm a better person for them and for myself, and the relationship's different, but I think it's stronger, more positive, and more real. So I know the people that I've been speaking to that have been having problems with detaching and becoming their own person because of the judgment. Be patient with yourself. It's a hard process to undo so many years of being the same way, and people seeing you that way and expecting you to be that way, that when you do change, there's going to be a resistance because they were used to you that way. You had a role in their life and it was in a specific way. But if those people really meant to be there, they will adapt with you. It may be difficult for them as much as it is for you, but nobody's going to walk in your shoes but you, so you really need to be comfortable with who you are. And if they do love you and they do care about you, they'll be there when you get through it and come out the other side. And you don't have to finish it till you get back to them. You just have to get to a place where you feel strong enough with who you are not to deal with the judgment. All right, it's kind of long. Sorry about that. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.